Adam Price.
Diolch, Llywydd. Mae'n wir I ddweud...
Thank you, Llywydd. It's true to say that Wales has always been a nation where the need outstrips the resource that we have to meet that need, and that's certainly true now for the reasons outlined by the Cabinet Secretary. Austerity as a result of the policy emerging from Westminster, but it has been true for a longer period than that. Historians call Wales a late nation in the sense that we haven't been able to build the infrastructure necessary to be a prosperous nation. And establishing a budget is one of the most important responsibilities we have in this place because, of course, we must prioritise this work of rebuilding the nation and tackling the need to put right the problems of the negligence that's existed over generations. And that is the spotlight that we in Plaid Cymru place on this as we hold the government to account where necessary, but also to work together where there is common ground. I came into politics to make a difference, and that is what Plaid Cymru has done through the agreement that we have reached once again with the Labour government. And if truth be told, I would prefer to be in the Cabinet Secretary's seat, and I very much hope that Plaid Cymru will lead government at some point, because there are issues that we disagree on vehemently. There are areas where I didn't manage to persuade the Cabinet Secretary. At the moment, of course, there's this whole question of the pay cap in the public sector, the question on tuition fees and increasing the debt burden on students. There, we disagree with government, and for that reason, of course, we're not going to be supporting this budget, and we will continue to disagree on those areas and others. But where there is common ground, then we are willing to cooperate with people from other parties for the benefit of Wales. And that is what the people of Wales expect from us, if truth be told. Mature politics, politics that looks to the long term. Wales cannot wait 3.5 years for an election in order to get a new government in place to build the foundations that are needed for the longer term. So I make no apology at all for playing our part in building that better Wales that we all want to see.
Where Wales cannot wait for a change of government, and therefore in a parliament where the governing government does not have a majority, it is incumbent upon all of us as parliamentarians to do our bit to actually put into action the kind of policies that we want to see, that we were elected on. And that's what we try to do in the agreement that we have, that has been set out. We've clearly made the point on many occasions in recent years that we must ensure that Wales does not become, in microcosm, a version of the UK's problem of an over-centralisation, over-concentration of wealth in one corner of Wales. We want to see success in that corner of Wales, but we want to see that spread equally, and that also requires public investment in those areas as well. And yet again, in this budget agreement, we try to emphasise having that investment in all parts of Wales. So we have the 4 million to kickstart the development of the third Menai Bridge. We have the development of the integrated healthcare centre in Cardigan, £15 million for the improvement of north-south links, and the upgrading of the Traws-Cymru service as well. Of course, the work continuing on the feasibility study of the Aberystwyth-Carmarthen railway line, as was referred to earlier, and the National Football Museum in north-east Wales as well. And indeed, if we're removing tolls on the Severn Bridge in that corner of Wales, then it's right as well that we follow through on the principle and remove the tolls on the Cleddau Bridge in south-west Wales as well. And it's good to see a commitment for making sure that the South Wales Metro, reaches all parts of the valleys in its area, and so looking at extending and linking into the Rhondda Fach and creating a new metro as well for Swansea Bay and the South Wales valleys. So making sure that this is a budget for the whole of Wales is a core principle for us, and that's what we try to do with the agreement. But it's also about investing in our future. So it's good to see an additional 40 million there for higher and further education. Young people are absolutely our most critical resource. It's true for any country. It's certainly true for us. 6 million as well for young farmers, to actually ensure that we have a future for that sector that is grounded within new entrants into the industry. In North Wales, 14 million for medical training and a development fund for undergraduate medical training, building on the £7 million for last year. And it's also, our deal is also about new ideas which try to come up with solutions for some of the long-standing problems that we address in this chamber. So looking at new innovations within health and social care, the Boatsog pilot, which will lead to the creation of the training of 80 new district nurses, the foundational economy, which has broad cross-party support, his year in the Plaid Cymru agreement, so we can start the work, not just talking about it, but start the work on actually putting that into action in tangible ways, beginning with care and procurement as sectoral focuses. So there's a number of areas here which we also feel have been underinvested in the past, and we're trying to set the balance right. Mental health. I think there's a broad consensus that is a sector that has not had the support it deserves. And so, yet again, right at the core of the agreement, an additional 40 million on top of the 20 million from last year, but now crucially baselined, so that will be there, recurrent into the future, as it should be if we're to meet the requirements of that important sector of a public health service. Agriculture and tourism get additional money. They've often been certainly Cinderella sectors in recent years. We need to see them actually, they're at the core of the rural economy, and it's good to see additional money here as a result of Plaid Cymru priorities in this budget. If we talk 15 million overall additional money for the Welsh language, and if you can count all the Welsh language related areas, there's an additional £20 million investment. Additional money, that's the way that we're going to achieve the ambitious target that the government has set out in terms of the million Welsh speakers by 2050. I certainly will. Thank you.
I'd be grateful to understand from the Plaid Finance spokesperson. I appreciate the Finance Secretary, when he outlined the budget, said he was looking to explore specific tax measures in the tourist sector to raise money. He wasn't looking to alleviate tax in the tourist sector, he was looking to raise money. Given that you've had in-depth discussions with the government, what is your understanding of the government's ambition in this particular sector on the tourism industry in Wales?
Well, the additional money that I referred to was for marketing, and I would like the Conservative Party to point out the areas that all these positive ideas that Plaid Cymru have brought to the table. Which one of them do you disagree with? Do you think that there should be less money for the tourism sector? Well, in terms of the tourism levy, then I think that this is an idea which deserves to be explored. It is used widely throughout most economies. Many of them have bigger tourism sectors than us, and they use it to invest intelligently in the skills and infrastructure necessary to have a successful tourism economy. But it's called investing in the future of your country, and you should try it sometime. Rather than just carping on the sidelines, why don't we see a positive vision for the future of Wales and bring your ideas here to this chamber? That's what you elected for. As a result of this deal and last year's deal and the compact that we originally signed, then Plaid Cymru ideas from our manifesto will have been delivered in part or in full to the tune of 565 million. Actually, most of our major financial commitments from our manifesto from 2016 will have been delivered in part or in full. That is democratic politics in action. I would respectfully suggest to the leader of the Conservative Party he should try it sometime. We are paid not to issue sound bites and press releases. We are paid to try and do our bit to make the lives of the people of Wales better. That is why we're here in this chamber, and I am not going to apologise to him or to anyone else for doing our job.